train come a rolling, clickety-clack. Everybody trying to get a ticket to go, but those who go, they don't come back. They're going way down, Hadestown, way down under the ground.
Oh my goodness, Kimberly and Kevin, thank you guys so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
You know, this is really an exciting thing for us at Converge Media. And I got to say, you know, I'm excited to see y'all tonight. I'll start with you, Kevin. Just tell us, because I looked at your background. I mean, a litany of, I'm not even going to go over all of the shows that you've been in on TV, in the stage. Tell us a little bit about how special this role of Hades is for you.
For me, it's the first time in my, as you know, long career, I've had the opportunity to be able to sing in the range that is comfortable for me. I'm able to stay right down here and just live here the entire show, which is really kind of cool because normally I have to be, I'm so much higher and all that stuff, which I can do, but it's more work. The character himself, he's so dark and complex and so many layers, and that's a lot of fun. And it's the kind of a thing in other roles I have not had the opportunity to explore, to be honest.
Wow. You know, kind of same question for you, Kimberly, because both of you guys really have this plethora of a background, a lot of theater for you. And that means there's something special about every character. What is it for you and Persephone that brings it out?
Yes, I'd have to agree with Kevin in that Persephone allows me to really delve into the complexities of existing. She's a goddess, she's a queen, but she also has very real feelings about a lot of things, whether it be love or frustration or empathy for others. And so it's been really a gift to be able to just explore these things and just sing some amazing music and just be with other fantastic artists.
You know, I was a theater kid myself, so I really geek out on this kind of stuff because for me, when I was coming up, it was always the characterization, right? The idea that one person, you get to play so many different characters from one, play or musical to the next. But there's also always something special about the family that you build with the cast members. Tell us a little bit about that for you, Kevin, because that's always so special depending on whatever project you're working on. There's some kind of magic that happens between all of the actors that are together.
It's a journey that you started off together and you're going through together, and maybe in some places you will end together if the tour shuts down at the same time with everybody leaving. You do become this entire family with a mother, a father, several brothers, several sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, all of those characters, a grandpa in my case. But you become all those things as a family. And it's a good thing. Now, there are ups and there are downs. There'll be little arguments, all that stuff, but it's all part of a family, and you use that to grow forward. And you're telling the story together moving forward, and it grows with you as you're growing. It's being on tour, especially, that happens, I must say.
Yeah, because it's probably different, right? You do something in one city for several weeks. After a while, it's one thing. But different audiences across the country are experiencing it differently. And so that's something probably special about that, yeah?
The audience always makes a difference. They are the added character. Each audience is different. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kimberly.
No, that is absolutely right. Every audience is different. But that's the joy of it as well, is that we get to experience this piece together, both on the stage and in the audience. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, that's what I love about live theater, right? And, really the two of you playing these characters, there's some push and pull here between Persephone and Hades. I just want to ask you, Kimberly, a little bit about how excited you are to bring that out to the audience, because sometimes it seems like there's a lot of nuance there. I'll learn more tonight, but just based on what I've already seen in my research, there's a lot of nuance here between the two of you as husband and wife and what drives the both of you. Tell us a little bit about that for you, Kimberly.
I think that nuance is the perfect word. A lot of times on stage, you see relationships between a husband and wife and everything is peachy keen. And that is not always the case. And I think what's wonderful about Hadestown is that we really get to see a real couple trying to work it out. And just juxtaposed with young lovers who are
just starting
in
out.
love, almost to a fault. That's how we get here in the first place. And so it's just really, it is definitely challenging. We have to really go through the journey together every show. But it's certainly rewarding to be able to show marriage in that way, to show a partnership in that way, in a way that people can identify with.
Yeah, well, I think that these characters in and of themselves already being archetypal the way they are, right? People know Hades, right? They understand Persephone. They're like, oh, we get it. But you guys get to bring it out in this very unique way. Tell us a bit about that for you, Kevin, because Hades already out there in terms of king of the underworld. People have their own ideas about who you're supposed to be. How do you challenge those ideas in this role?
I've tried to make my take on Hades to make him a very three-dimensional character. He's a man. He's a god. Don't get me wrong, and he is a king, but he has his flaws, as we as humans have flaws. He loves, he hates, he takes revenge, he hurts, all of those things. He has pain, he cries. I'm trying to make him three-dimensional as we all are. Now, I've said this before, but I think of him as being a businessman. He's always gets the bad rep and the bad rap, but read the contract. He's not cheating you. He's not lying to you. It was right there the whole time. You just didn't see it.
You know what? That's clever and sly and also on point. I get it. Totally.
I'm just saying.
I totally get it. I mean, for you, Kimberly, Persephone gets to be above ground, queen of nature, mother nature, bringing that out. And then things change a little bit when you got to go back underground. Tell us about how you really showcase that difference and that change from being up there with all the people and then having to come back down and deal with this kind of industrial way that Hades is running Hadestown.
Yes. So, as you'll see tonight,
Yeah.
things are not as I left them when I get back down to Hadestown, which I discover and we have some words about. But on a grander scheme, being above ground really is Persephone's joy. It's her escape. It's when she gets to live her best life and really thrive in the nature of all things. But in the sense of nature, things live and they die. And that is the cycle of life. And so I have to go. I have to be with my husband. And there is a reverence almost for the cycle of death and then rebirth that I enjoy being able to participate in this show.
This is really great to hear from both of you all because, as you read things, you just don't get all of this, right? This is the meat and bones for me. And I'm a fan already because I love theater. And there's something like you guys said about the audience being there, being that additional kind of cast member on the ride with you all. But, clearly the music in this show has just really soared to another level. Tell us about the musicality that you get to experience as a character in this show and how that really is, I think, a carrying force of the story.
For me, as I said earlier, the range that I get to use within the show, the musicality of that, being able to be down at the bottom and give that gravitas to the character, so to speak, that earthiness in some ways, but that bass bravado, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Is that the right term?
Oh, yeah.
Bass bravado of the role. It grounds it. It makes it so earth-shattering in some cases, in many ways. Not so much with my stuff, but something that when people have asked me what are my favorite songs in the show, and I want to say anything the Fates sing, because those harmonies are just incredible, and our ladies are incredible. Musically, the show itself is its own thing. I've never heard music like this in a Broadway show especially. The collection of songs that have been written by Aeneas, just incredible.
I mean, you probably are in agreement with this, but that's really one of the parts that I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Because you get me with the harmony. I mean, I'm telling you, there is something so special. I don't know if it's that I always say, as individuals and as humans, I love the notion that it flows with the waters of my body, right? And I'll say that about certain things that really vibe with me, that just jibe with me. And music is one of those things, and harmonies is at the top of that list. There's something very special about it. But you get to bring your chops to this as well. I mean, you guys were talking about this earlier, and I know that there's something special about, plays are plays. Musicals take on another layer of it. Just tell us a little bit about that for you, because I know it resonates with every character and every actor differently.
Well, I think what's most special about Hadestown is that it is sung through. And so the music really does get to live in and out and through the entire time. And, you love harmonies. There are some beautiful harmonies, not just with the Fates, but the Workers. There's a number where every single person on stage is singing a different part. So that is minus Hades. So that's 12 different vocal parts creating beautiful harmony. There's jazz, there's bluegrass, there's second line from you going down, way down under. So there's really a beautiful opportunity for us to really sink into all the different genres, and like you said, bring our own chops to it as well, and really make it our own.
Amazing. Well, my co-host today is interviewing the other couple here, because we got, Orpheus and Eurydice. And so Besa Gordon will be interviewing them. But I get to ask this question on behalf of Besa here. It's a great question, by the way. But really tell us in one word, what this character means to you, or what resonates with you about this character. I'll start with you, Kimberly. She said you can go up to 3 words. Okay. She said you can go up to 3 words.
Thank you. I will say it'll be 4. I'm sorry. Love can be reborn.
Ooh. A whole sentence. Amazing.
A sentence.
Yeah.
Wow.
You had time.
I did, and I was wrapped up in what she was saying, because that's really wonderful. For myself, love will always win.
I really appreciate that you guys both resounded around love, right? That says a lot about the characters you're playing and the connection of those characters and yourselves, right? For me, last thing for me, I always want to know, every audience is different. We just talked about that with Aeneas, and, you're traveling, and you guys were just talking about that too. Every audience is different. What are some of the things that you really want the audience to walk away from after you pour your heart and soul on this stage tonight? What are some of the things you really want people to just walk away from carrying, from being able to witness this brilliance we're going to see later on tonight?
Oh, Kimberly, please.
Yeah.
I would say believe in second chances. This story is as old as the day is long, but we tell it again and again with the hopes that it may turn out differently, that there may be a different outcome, that we can win in the end. And I think that this show, that audiences will leave this show with a sense of hope, in that if we just keep trying, if we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, there's a chance it may turn out right. And we have the agency to do that.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
She said it. I was just going to say, there's always hope. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, I am so appreciative that you guys had some time for us today in your busy schedules. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you guys perform on that amazing stage tonight. Thanks for all you're bringing to the show.
Thank you. Thanks
Absolutely.
for being here.
So great to meet you.